Hello everyone, I'm here to give you a small update on this series, as quite a few things are going on behind the scenes. To cut it short, the channel will be going on hiatus for a few weeks starting today, as Wolfie is busy attempting to stay safe while moving between countries. Wolfie has done his best to record things ahead of time, so you may see a few episodes of Time Warp pop up during his absence. There's no current ETA on when we will be back to normal again, but expect a few weeks at least. If you would like the full story, check the # announcements channel on Discord. With that, on to today's episode.
The hunt for Golden Boi goes on. Last week, we managed to find a lot of Golden Boi support, but not Golden Boi himself. And to make anything work, we need a Golden Boi. Only one, even, is fine. I don't mind. 2 would be great. 3 would be completely overkill. But let's dig in right away. I'm not waiting around this time. Adamancipator Resonance. Pollinosis. Guacumira. Focus. Focus. It's Block Dragon. He's banned. Adamancipator Relief. Do not care. No. We want the boy. We want the Golden Boi. Bring me... Oh, I punched the camera. Bring me the Golden Boi. Sandman. Oh, another trap card we're actually looking for. Solemn Judgment is absolutely ridiculous. It does cost us 4,000 life points if we activate a turn 1 though, which, puts a dent in our usual combo, because our usual combo would leave us at 1,000. But it's still really good. Rapite. Talaya. Oh, sick. There he is. It's your Golden Boi. We have a fucking Golden Boi. Eldritch the Golden Lord. I don't know what that musical number was, but you're going to have to live with it. This is the last powerhouse card that we really need for the deck, and it's super easy to splash because all it really requires us to do is put something in the back row, and we have a lot of spell cards and stuff that we can just put face down and have him break. 1 Golden Boi. If there is a second Golden Boi here, we are dope. We do need the Eldixirs as well. That would be the next thing, and Conquistador, because it's really good. Cyclamen the Rika Fairy. Focus. Thank you. Galaxy Cyclone. A super rare Unizombie. Rose Lover. Oh, speaking of Conquistador, there he is. Conquistador of the Golden Land. The only trap card we're missing now is Scarlet, whatever it's named. Also dog, number 4, I've named him. His name is Brutus. He likes to borf when I'm doing things. Guacumira Wall. Pollinosis. Blood. Marina Princess of Sunflowers. Another Guardian. Dang, that's a bad one. We don't want that. 3 more packs. We need to find another Conquistador, would be nice, as well as the Sanguine. Sanguine is the one that we need now to really make this work. Cyclamen the Rikia Fairfire, the Adamancipator is a Raptite. Another Galaxy Cyclone. Another Unizombie. Oh, it's fucking coming together, isn't it? Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. Oh, the Eldritch core is rising. It's happening. We can actually use Eldritch. Oh boy. Alright. Another Solemn Judgment. I will definitely keep that. Erica the Rika Fairy. Rock Bombardment. Raptite. And Adamancipator Analyzer. Don't remember if this is the expensive one or the cheap one, but Adamancipators. Last pack for this week. I guess let's open it like a madman and see what happens. Because at this point, who cares? Oh, well, I spoiled it. It was a Rika Flurry. Meaning here... Whoa, yo, what is this? We got a Cursed Eldland as well? Yo, this is looking up. Oh, this is looking up. Holy crap. So not only did we actually acquire ourselves one of the Golden Boys, having one more is going to be the absolute madness. We got one of the most expensive cards of the set, excluding himself, of course, Cursed Eldland. This is a great freaking card. Double Solemn Judgment in case we decide to use it, as well as 3 of the trap cards, 2 of which we actually wanted. This can just go away. But oh my god, it's happening. One more week of Secret Slayers. Can we manage to fill out the core completely? I don't know, but this boy, he's coming in the deck immediately. Let's go.
So, for the first duel of today, we're going up against an archetype we haven't really seen in a long time. We're playing against Unchained. Unfortunately, our starting hand is absolute trash, as we simply have to set a monster pass. Our opponent normal summons Rakeya, activating Rakeya to pop their own back row, which is Escape of the Unchained, managing to special summon Sarama. Escape of the Unchained triggers, of course, meaning they get to set another card, and oh god, already Unchained Soul is here. Basically speaking, they're going to run us over because the only thing we have is a goddamn Wendy. Wendy does flip up, however, managing to bring out a dragon, hoping that we can bounce back their big Unchained, and they actually do go for the attack here, allowing us to do just as such. Unfortunately for us, that doesn't really mean much against Unchained, because all they want to do is set all of their cards and then Raffle Stomp on us. Luckily for us, though, we do have a Harpy's Feather Duster just blowing out their entire back row, which is probably the best thing that could have happened as Rakeya hits the board, and we normal summon our Alistair. Alistair is, of course, going to fetch our Invocation, which we can't really use for anything at the moment, as the triggers pop off, which is going to bring out Indomitable Soul yet again and bringing on Arhua. Basically, Unchained pop themselves for effects. With that, the big boy is going to break our Alistair, forcing us to use our Invocation to get into our Wendy. Or Winda, sorry. But this time around, we have the Eldritch package. We actually activate Elixir of Black Awakening for the first time, bringing out Eldritch in defense position. Does it do much right now? No. But the possibility we have is that when they destroy it, we can bring it back next turn, you know, for better or for worse. We do set our Impermanence, which we flip to Sarama's effect activation, hoping that it's enough to stop him. But no, Unchained Soul of Disaster does hit the board, and now we're in deep shit. Fortunately for us, Winda actually saves us here by being able to stop him from going into his Link monsters during the main phase 1, forcing him to do it during main phase 2. He ends his turn on Unchained Soul of Rage, which of course allows him to perform a Link summon using our monsters. Luckily for us, we top deck a Shaddoll fusion, and oh my god, that was probably the best top deck we could have gotten. This way we can actually climb into our usual combo, hoping to end him before we even have to bother. I also remember this person specifically said at the end of the duel, holy shit, all that from one Shaddoll fusion. Regardless, we do manage to get Eldritch back onto the board by destroying our Magical Meltdown after going ham with it, and at this point he is forced to use his effect to Link summon using Eldritch to get rid of it. We here just decide to use our effect of Construct to blow up his Link 3, which of course is going to let him draw another Unchained, then linking off into Cross Sheep, and oh boy, we can combo in main phase 2. We get our Shaddoll fusion back, of course, and pop as much as possible going into Ariel. At this point, we do get negated multiple times, and most of our cards just get completely blown up at this point, as you can see by Unchained existing. It doesn't really matter for us, though, because even through all of this, we still have our trump card of Dragoon, and Dragoon here is going to be the biggest boy you've ever seen. Paying 2,000 life points is nothing, considering that Dragoon can now deal a massive 6k to our opponent. Holy crap. I think that's the biggest pop with Dragoon we've ever done. At that, we pass our turn to our opponent, who at this point doesn't really have that many options, swaps into attack position, going in to attempt to battle over Anaconda, and scoops them up. Game number 2, now that we know what we're up against, is going to get much, much tougher. Our opponent makes us go first, to which we have to activate our Magical Meltdown using the Shaddoll Fusion in our hand to go into Winda, hoping for love and holiness that he won't be able to just step over it. Again, Unchained really relies on all of their special summons swarming, so it might just be enough to stop them. We do set a Beast and a Falco as well, passing turn, and Zoo King Alpha. Crap. Zoo King Alpha just bounces back our Winda as he activates Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, giving himself the big boy Kaiju and us, the small turtle boy. We do get Falco back onto the field thanks to its own effect, but he normal summons his Unchained once again, and you can probably guess where this is going. Activating the effect, popping the Unchained card, which allows him to pop a card on the field, as well as special summon another Unchained that I never remember the name of, even though I said it exactly 5 seconds ago. He then does his little combo shenanigans, getting Unchained Soul, which is going to allow him to link summon using one of our monsters, and he does as such, link summoning into the link 2, and then punching into my Falco, knowing that the Falco cannot really do anything, and then going in for a massive chunk of damage on our face. Unfortunately, he does bring us to the point here where we aren't actually able to use our Dragoon effectively, because we can't just climb into a link 2 and use it, because we draw into our Trick Clown, and using Trick Clown's effect, of course, is going to bring us to 1900. Unfortunate. We do special summon his Unchained Soul of Rage, however, hoping for the best, but it does get linked away immediately upon summon and activating its effect. We activate our invocation to go into Mechaba, using Clown's effect to, well, attempt to go into Dragoon, and then realizing, well, shit, we can't. Fuckaroni. Regardless of that, we do activate it to get our Alistair back, go into the battle phase, punch over his Link 3, and then we're kind of at the mercy of his top deck. We have to negate the effect in the graveyard to make sure that he cannot link climb once again, going into our next Magical Meltdown thanks to terraforming, so we have a monster negate, and we pass. And Kaiju. I forgot about that. Shit. Heading into game number 3, and this is for all the marbles, and our hand is bad. We let our opponent go first this time as he activates Abomination's Prison, setting as much as he could, doing his combo, you know, the shenanigans. He sets Abomination's thing, was it Chamber, I believe, getting his special summons out again by chain linking them, and oh boy, what are we going to do now? He does go into his Unchained Soul of Rage and just passing turn, which is not really that great. I expected a bit more, so we just fire off our Red Eyes Fusion, going into Dragoon, just popping the soul. He had activates its effect, which I allowed to go through in case he had a trap card that would have done more here. We set a Hedgehog and just attack him for 3k. And then we pass. At this point, we do get to worry about more kaijus as we do get Gamma Sealed and then Lightning Storm, but for some reason he decides to destroy traps, which is just our guacamole. He normal summons Sarama once again, activating Sarama's effect to bring back Aruha. Aruha pops, getting himself Unchained Soul of Disaster. Soul activates, getting the Gamma Seal into the Unchained Soul of Rage, which attacks straight into our Hedgehog. Hedgehog's effect will activate, giving us Shaddoll Fusion as we take 1500 points of damage, unfortunately, but there's not really much we can do to stop that. Also, that was, yes, I accidentally paused the replay here and I didn't notice, but you get to live with it. I make mistakes too. Unchained Soul, Abominable, Badabadoo, the big boy comes in and then goes for a direct attack of 3k, and yet again bringing us to that brink of extinction where we can't use Anaconda's effect anymore, which is really bad for us. But we are alive for one more turn. We do activate our Shaddoll Fusion, using Eldritch this time around to go into Construct. At this point, we just try and chain off as much as possible to prevent him from using Eldritch to get over us. We get Beast Effect, which draws us into Cursed Eldland, which is actually pretty good here. We activate Invocation to go into our Didgeridoo, which we're going to use to pop his 3k monster. Activating Invocation again to get our Alistair back, using Alistair as a normal summon to yet again get Invocation. At this point, we activate Invocation again as he decides to fuse off a Didgeridoo, which is fine. We go into a Purgatoria, which he's going to be forced to deal with as we activate Cursed Eldland in order to draw into Conquistador. We activate Eldritch, I can't believe I'm saying that, to summon him as a big boy beater on the field and then beat over everything. However, he does activate Escape of the Unchained, which is going to kill our Purgatoria, which was our win condition here. Regardless, we decide to go in with Eldritch and deal as much damage as possible to our opponent, and then go in with Construct to just insta-pop his special summon monster. This, on the other hand, brings out Soul of Disaster, which is really, really bad for us, which means we need to fire off this Conquistador before he gets to main phase. We do exactly that in order to make sure he can't use our monsters to link off, but this gives him his Link 3 back, and I'm sitting here going, shit, I should read cards. He activated its effects to go into the Link 4, which is the actual big one, Unchained Soul of Disaster? I don't remember. Big boy. It basically, whenever something gets popped on the field, he gets to pop another card, which is bad. He does go off into his 3k monster, once again popping our face down, which turns out to be Dragon that does nothing, activating the effect of the Link 4 to pop Construct, which just gives us Shaddoll Fusion. At this point, however, he is unable to get over Eldritch, which is quite good for us because that was our only win con. At this point, we simply set a card, activating our Invocation Engraved to grab Alistair once again, using Alistair as a normal summon, getting our Invocation back, but at this point we're just tributing both of them for Cross Sheep as we are able to combo off using Invocation to go into Mechaba. Mechaba, of course, special summoning something from our graveyard, which is going to be Hedgehog, or sorry, Mechaba's not doing it, Cross Sheep is. We then activate Shaddoll Fusion, going into App Calone so we can once and for all silence that anguished man. We get a special summon off of Wendy's effect, and we banish some cards using Aerial, but that doesn't exactly matter much. As what we want to do here is bring back our big boy Eldritch once again by throwing our incarnation to the grave that we don't need, proceed into battle phase after we link it to Burl Sword, and our opponent scoops. Wonderful. Match number 2 is going to be played at almost double speed because holy crap was this a stally game. We're playing up against... ta-da! Trickstars, and Trickstar Burn specifically. Our opponent sets 2 and then summons Lycoris and then decides to immediately activate Reincarnation, which we just chain Ash to because we don't really want to lose our hand despite our hand being trash. We set a Wendy, set a card face down, set our Conquistador, and then just pass turn, hoping that he's not able to snowball completely out of control. He summons another Lycoris, meaning we're now taking 400 points of damage for each card that we draw, which is bad. We get hit with a Wendy effect. We set ourselves a beast. Even though we draw cards, we do need to draw into something to end this game, and our opponent simply passes turn on that, which is perfect. We get a Shaddoll Fusion for turn, then take our 400 points of damage from drawing a card, and hey Babariba, Shaddoll Fusion gets negated. We flip open our beast to attempt to draw some cards, and we do, and we draw into Invocation, which in this specific instance is perfect. We take ourselves our massive damage yet again, Dragon's Effect activating, turning out to be an Ice Dragon's Prison, which our opponent decides to activate immediately in order to get rid of Beast. We then flip open our set Reshaddoll Incarnation, which gets hit with a Ghost Bell, meaning we are free to go into our Invocation. Invocation is going to bring out Apkalone, which is also going to activate the effect of Wendy and Hedgehog. We silence one of the godforsaken Trickstars, set ourselves a Falco, proceed into battle phase after normal summoning our nothing. We go Dragoon. Sorry for the ear rape, but that was much necessary. We go into Dragoon and our opponent immediately scoops, knowing what's ahead of him. For game number 2, we are not nearly as lucky. Our opponent activates the stage immediately, getting his Trickstar combo started without me really having a chance to fight back whatsoever, as he yet again has Lycoris on the field with 3 back row this time and passes turn. As you might expect what's coming, Reincarnation is on our horizon as it gets flipped up, forcing us to banish our entire hand and drawing into one that is arguably better. We activate our face down? What am I talking about? Twin Twister, which flicks up another face down Reincarnation is what I wanted to say, but we do have the Ash this time to negate the second one. However, that isn't really much considering the board state, as the only thing we can really do is bring out Eldritch. We do as such, punching into his Lycoris, hoping that we don't have to deal with it again, but of course Lycoris' effect can banish itself to special summon another one. Fuck. We pass turn on nothing but an Eldritch and a face down as Pot of Money gets pulled out and the Trickstar combos continue. Don't make me have to say their names because I'll be perfectly honest, I'll never remember them, and I have a script. Holly Angel gets put out. We take ourselves a bunch of pings of 200, because if you didn't know, that's kind of the thing that they want to do, as he links off into Foxglove Witch, which is yet again going to ping us for about 600 points of damage thanks to Light Stage. It attacks into our face down, which turns out to be a Squamata, which I use to pop it, which of course brings out another link too, because I have severe issues reading cardboard. We yet again get pinged for about a bazillion points of damage, bringing us practically low to losing the game. At this point, we draw another card and we yet again ping for about 600 damage, and oh my god, can they just stop doing it? This is like the Discord servers, like mine, which you should join, that constantly have pings to show you what's going on. Join my Discord server. It's fun. Oh yeah, the duel. I forgot about it. We're losing. Our opponent simply goes in with all of their Trickstars thanks to their effects and burn us to about 100, meaning that when we draw a card, we lose the game. Game number 3, and now we're in the tight squeeze of burn damage. Our first turn is looking absolutely horrible as we this time decide to go first, hoping that we could go into a Winda first turn, but no such luck. We are forced to attempt to do something as he passes into battle phase using Evenly Matched, which is a card I don't think we've ever run into during the series so far, but it does intentionally screw us over because I'm stupid and banished the wrong card. Now we're multiple resources down, and the only real thing we have is an Ash Blossom in hand to do everything for us, along with our 2 set cards being Conquistador which we just used. I special summon Conquistador just so that Light Stage can't really hit it, because Light Stage, if you didn't know, prevents you from using one spell and trap for an entire turn and then pops it. Unfortunately for us, he has everything he needs for his combo in his hand regardless, as he just goes into battle phase and hits us for 800 direct, going into his main phase 2 after beating the ever-living shit out of our poor Conquistador. We do take a massive chunk of damage yet again, and thanks to Light Stage, we're just taking even more. He then links off into what I believe is named Bloom, but you can bash me in the comments if I don't remember, as we draw into nothing but a Trick Clown. We use the effect of Conquistador to set a Elixir of Black Awakening, but we're not able to use it, because now we're under Light Stage. We are going to get punched for massive amounts of damage here. The only thing I can do is activate my Clown for one of the attacks to prevent me from dying, but we are not really far off anyway. At this point, a Dragoon can win the game if that is the card that we draw, but the likelihood of that are pretty low. Our opponent then goes off into Trickstar shenanigans once again, getting their link out, and we draw Shaddoll Fusion, which is not bad. We do activate it going into our Apkalon this time around in order to shut down some cards on the field, hoping that we can do something afterwards. A lot of chain linking happens, but basically we special summon a monster, we negate his link, and that's about it. We then use Incarnation to flip up on Squamata to pop another one of his monsters, activating our Trick Clown in order to go into Nightmare Phoenix in order to have a Beat Stick on board. Yes, I'm not shitting you. We used it for 1900 attack. We do manage to clear the board, however, but on 700 life points, we are definitely not looking good, especially not when he has draw $70 in hand. He gets himself an Incarnation or Recarnation or whatever the hell it's named, going into his ping 200 for drawing a card, and oh boy, we're at 300. We have maybe one turn possibly to live here, as we just have to do our best to punch over as much as we can, hoping he doesn't draw into anything that can ping us for damage. But then we yet again forget how Lycoris works. We get Lightning Storm, which is going to activate Reincarnation, which is going to special summon the 800 direct attacker, and that is game. Yikes. For game number 3, we're playing up against Adamancipators, which is another one of those archetypes that we see sometimes and then either get our ass kicked or completely kick their ass. Doki Doki is going to get summoned, which activates its effect, of course, which is going to use the link off into Almirage, special summoning Kuakamiro Supplier from hand, and then ending his turn. We're going to activate our Shaddoll Fusion and go into the usual combo that we normally do, so while I do, let me plug my Patreon for a bit. Hey, did you know? I'm now unemployed. If you would like to support the show and me by buying me a coffee or perhaps feeding me for a day, then consider joining the Patreon and or YouTube memberships. You have the same benefits regardless of which one you join. I hate selling out, but hey, a living's a living. When we come back to the duel, you see what you expect. Our combo has gone off successfully with no interaction from our opponent, as we are able to get 7 cards in hand, which is absolutely insane. Going for Alistair as a normal summon, getting ourselves Invocation, we're able to completely pop off, going into our Nightmare Phoenix, linking off into Crusadia Avramax, going into Verte Anaconda, and you could probably expect what our opponent's gonna do. Game number 2, our starting hand is not as great this time as our opponent decides to go first, but we do have an Ash Blossom as some form of interaction. Roxy's gets normal summon, which is going to special summon Adamancipator Researcher, which is going to activate to excavate the top 5, which we decide to Ash. He then synchros off into Raptite, activating the effect of Mero Supplier in order to special summon it. He then activates the effect to draw into Kuakimiro Guardian, activating the effect of Raptite to reveal the top 5 cards and get a rock. Unfortunately for us, he gets into Doki Doki, which allows him to special summon an Analyzer, which allows him to do it again. This time around, he managed to get himself a Adamancipator Crystal Dragite, which is going to allow him to start off his combos. Going into Adamancipator Risen Dragite, which is our bane of existence, as we don't have anything to get around it right now. He also manages to get into a Herald of the Arclight, monster reborning his Kuakamiro Guardian, and he now has about 3 spell negates on board that we can't do anything about. Yikes. For game number 3, we are once again letting our opponent go first, hoping we can draw into some more interaction. Adamancipator Analyzer gets summoned, which of course is going to look at the top 5 and is going to special summon an Adamancipator Crystal Dragite. Then activating the effect of Seeker in hand to special summon it, and our opponent is yet again off to the races. Excavating the top 5 once more, finding himself a Prank Kid Roxy's, he now has availability to multiple synchros, but he decides not to do that, instead plays Meow Meow Moo. Is this a Prank Kid Adamancipator list? interesting. Adamancipator Risen does get Synchro Summoned eventually, linking off into Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, of course, giving him 1,000 life points thanks to Dropsies, special summoning the Roxys, going into Raptite as his second Synchro, which is again going to allow him to Excavate 5, going into Analyzer. Oh my god, stop looking at the top of your deck. Adamancipator Science is going to bring out Dragite, which is very bad for us once again, as it allows him to draw into his Analyzer. He then links off into Crystal Halki Fibrax, which brings out Psyframe Gear Gamma. Okay, he links off into Borreload Savage Dragon, which is going to allow him to get 2 negates on board, along with a spell negate. Yikes. This time around, though, I think we can actually play around it. Researcher gets special summoned, which is of course going to excavate the top 5 once again, finding not much but special summoning a Kuwakamira supplier once more. He exceed summons Abyss Dweller, and holy crap, he's brought in every single hate card possible for our deck, and I can't believe it. At this point, our options are very limited, but we do have something we can do. We fire off our Infinite Impermanence, which somehow actually goes through, negating Borreload Savage, then firing off Terraforming, which baits the other negate, and we're now free to go off to the races. We can't activate Graveyard effects this turn, so I decide to throw Eldritch into the graveyard for later. Going into Construct and then normal summoning our Alistair, we are going to be able to bring out our Bad Boy Dragoon for another 6k destruction. Before we do that, however, just to make sure that we don't get Gamut from hand, we go into the battle phase to go into Construct and beat over Lambda. We then go into our very, very cool Snaky Boy, using our invocation to bring out a Didgeridoo to pop his Abyss Dweller. Then summoning out our Dragoon to go in for 6k damage, hoping that he has no way of recovering from this board state. He attempts to activate Nibiru. Thankfully, this was our 5th summon, so we are able to negate it, popping both of his monsters for 6,000 points of damage and passing turn. What is he possibly going to do now? He normal summons Kuwakamira's Supplier, which is gonna do nothing, going into battle phase to beat over Anaconda. That's fine. He then activates the Dragite Crystal Engrave, which he decides to negate, and then firing off Adamancipator Sights, which brings back Dragite. But that's not going to do anything because it gets popped by Origides, and we take the win.
Yet another defeat last week, be that at the mercy of the draw. But no use dwelling on that, you've got another opponent waiting for you. This week, Awkwardsqueak is bringing heroes to take you down. Won't bother asking you the usual. Get going.
Yet another EDO duel coming this week, meaning there will be no commentary for it. It's just too fast for me to keep up these days. I'll see you in the endgame. Enjoy. Now that was an incredibly close matchup. Holy crap, that Nibiru came in clutch. Thank you, Awkwardsqueak, for coming on to the show. It was a pleasure. Now, let's talk about Eldritch here, because if we've seen anything from this week, Eldritch is an absolutely amazing card. He managed to get us out of so many sticky situations that otherwise we would have just been screwed. I am incredibly happy to be running him, but I may need to be tuning the trap cards a little bit because they're not as helpful as Eldritch himself is. Regardless, if you enjoyed today's episode, remember to leave a like down below, leave a comment if you'd like. If you watched up to this point, comment Golden Boi. Yes, he deserves it. If you would like to support me, you know you have Patreon and channel memberships, as I keep mentioning, but I probably shouldn't because the algorithm doesn't like it. But hey, please the algorithm, and remember, stay safe out there.